QCDs. What are they and how can they help lower your tax bill? We'll talk about that today on Elevate Wealth. Hey there, I'm Deanne Rosso with Elevate Wealth Advisory, and today we're discussing QCDs, or Qualified Charitable Distributions. And I'm here with our Director of Investment Policy, Rob Fezekas. Welcome back, Rob.
Hey, Deanne.
So, Rob, tell us about QCDs.
Sure. So a QCD is a transfer of assets from a traditional IRA account to a charitable organization. And it can be a pretty powerful tax strategy for people who are eligible, but there are some conditions to know if you are eligible to use this strategy. So one of them, which I just mentioned, is it needs to come from a traditional IRA. So it can't come from a Roth IRA or a brokerage account or a 401k or accounts like that. You need to be a certain age to use it. You need to be at least 70 and a half to use this strategy. The transfer needs to go directly to a charitable organization, so it can't go to you first and it can't go to a donor-advised fund. And there is a dollar limit to be aware of, which is $108,000. It's a pretty high limit, but you have to be under that $108,000 to use that strategy. But if you meet all those conditions, you can use a QCD strategy for possibly lowering your tax bill.
Yeah, so those are a few conditions, namely being age 70 and a half, right, and making that transfer direct from the IRA or that account to the charity without it passing through you, right? So, but you mentioned that if it's done right, it might not be taxed. So how can a QCD strategy lower my tax bill?
Sure, so QCDs are not considered taxable income. So where it really becomes kind of a powerful strategy is especially after you reach the age where you have to start taking money out of your traditional IRA. So depending on when you were born, that age is either 73 or 75. And then you need to start withdrawing from a traditional IRA, which normally would be considered taxable income. So the QCD can account for or cover some or all of that RMD requirement. So if you use a QCD, if you don't need the money to live on and instead you transfer that to a charity, you can actually save on your taxes because it won't be considered taxable income. And that can be important, especially if you're on Medicare. Keeping your income low might keep you in a lower Medicare premium bracket. It could also perhaps keep a smaller portion of your Social Security income considered taxable as well.
Absolutely, and because the QCD is what we call an above-the-line deduction, it can be actually a better deduction, perhaps even than itemizing that charitable contribution. Yes. Awesome. Well, QCDs sound like a great strategy. Thank you so much for explaining what those are for us today. And if you have questions about your charitable giving strategy, whether that is the QCD, the Qualified Charitable Distribution, or making those gifts through appreciated securities or using a donor-advised fund, lots of different ways you can make gifts. So we're here to help you make that decision. You can visit us at elevate-wealth.com and click Let's Talk. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.